Human beings are no different today from what they've always been. They fall in love, find that things aren't working out, and rashly resort to suicide pacts. You thought that perhaps this was a thing of the past, something that only happened before our enlightened modern times. Well, it happens today too. Sometimes the suicide is carried out by mutual consent, but there are not a few idiots who, having coerced their lovers into dying together and killed them without their consent, suddenly get squeamish when it's their own turn and give the job up as a bad idea, only to do hard time instead. Many of the love suicides of the past were proposed to men by prostitutes who had struggled in this vale of tears for years, until, depressed over insurmountable straits, they suggested a foolish suicide pact to their men. Of course, men had to lavish money so that prostitutes could spread the necessary largesse on red letter days. When some such ritual day in the quarter was imminent, the woman would write letters to her customers begging them for spending money. If things went well, her customers would pony up the required cash. Often, however, no matter how many letters a woman sent out, not a single reply would be forthcoming. When every line of cash was tapped out and she couldn't do the respectable thing, she'd be pointed at with scorn by others. Then, hard up for money, she'd most likely propose a foolish love suicide pact. Once there was a prostitute named Osume of the Shirokiya in Shinagawa, Shinjuku, hard up for money on some such occasion. She sent letters in all directions to every customer she'd ever known, but no response of money was forthcoming. Finally, pressed for expenses, and with heavy debts already owed at her house, she was left with nowhere to run. Thinking how bitter it would be if she failed to come up with something suitable for the occasion and became an object of derision, she resolved to die. If she were to die alone, however, everyone would know she had taken her life because she had nothing to show for herself. Since this will not do, she now hopes to find among her customers some simpleton, exactly which one scarcely mattered, who might be made to accompany her along the final road to heaven or to hell. Who else but Kinzo, a clerk in a bookshop in Kanda, a stupid and greedy glutton, a poseur without any wit, a lech and a numbskull to boot. To kill off someone like that would be doing the world a real service. It would serve him right, but for Kinzo to be singled out as a suicide companion for the good of society, what a plight. In desperation, she puts her heart and soul into a letter. I must speak with you about a personal matter. Please come as soon as you get this letter, is the gist of it, and sends it off by messenger. Rinsing out his mouth and washing his hands, he opens the letter to find her clumsy scrawl. I must speak with you about a personal matter. Overjoyed, he makes haste to get himself all neat and tidy and proceeds to Shinegawa. For starters, he has food brought in, and as the couple drinks a flagon of sake along with appetizers, the following conversation ensues. It's a bit difficult to talk here, so let's do so later in my room, where things are quieter. Why don't you go ahead and take a nap first, Kin? Well, all right then. I'll just do that. Having withdrawn, Kinzo has no sooner gotten under the covers than there appears first one customer, and then another, and still another. Osame is kept busy running from room to room, and what with all the sake he has drunk earlier, Kinzo falls into sound sleep, only to awaken in the middle of the night. Oof, what time is it? This is idiotic. She sends me a letter saying that there's something personal she wants to talk about, and when I come, she treats me like this. What kind of talk? I'd like to know. If you want to talk, then get in here and talk, I say. Every time I think she's coming and I hear footsteps, I stick my head out of the bedclothes. Then I have to stick it back in again. What the hell? This is no fun. I'm not having anything more to do with any talk. Ah, these footsteps finally must be hers. And pulling the bedclothes back over his head, he feigns sleep. Suddenly, the hallway door slides open. Kin-san, Kin-san, wake up. Boy, you're really sound asleep. What the hell are you talking about, hey? Who the hell's asleep? Some clever devil you are to come dragging in at any hour like this. You're not going to get me up so easily now. You idiot, you're talking in your sleep with the bedclothes pulled over your head. What do you mean, idiot? I'm yelling at you, not talking in my sleep. Well, well, pretty clear for talking in his sleep. Hey, come on, Kim, wake up. Come on now. You can go to hell. Old Kin wasn't born yesterday, you know. You idiot. Now you're talking in your sleep and snoring at the same time. Oh, I never thought you were so insincere. What a fool I've been. I'm the one who's been a fool. Well, that's it then. I'll just have to do it myself. Fine. And I'll just have to do it by myself. Uh, do what? You have some nerve showing up at an hour like this. You'd better have a written excuse. He may talk like this, but after all, he had come with goodwill. So he is a bit concerned. Still snoring, he peers from under the bedclothes, and there she is with a lamp before her, writing a letter. That's disgusting. Kin, stop fooling around. Now you're snoring with your eyes wide open. You really are half asleep. What do you mean disgusting? What's the difference whether I'm half asleep or half awake? You don't have to make any nasty remarks. I'm not making nasty remarks. R2. What about writing a letter right here where I'm sleeping? And I bet it's to some boyfriend too. What are you talking about? There's something I've been wanting to talk over with you since you showed up. But there you are, snoring away, and I haven't been able to talk to you. So I'm writing myself a letter about what's on my mind so I can send it to you. Oh, come on, how boring. If that's what you're up to, you've got it all wrong. What have I got wrong? What do you mean, what have you got wrong? Why, here's the Buddha himself, front and center, and there you are writing him a letter. Let's see that letter. Here. Hold on a minute. You're gonna be sorry if it's addressed to the wrong man. Go ahead, take a good look. If you think I won't. Boring. You're putting me on. Push the lamp over here. Hey, what's this? Suicide note. I'm leaving behind just this brief note. As you must very well know, on this coming red letter day I cannot show my face without having at least 40 Ryu in gold in hand. But at last, with no one to turn to, I have become a warbler that is no longer able to warble, a caged bird without a wing or a prayer. I have hidden myself away like a cuckoo until now, but no longer able to bear it. I have decided to do away with myself this very night, and so end my unhappy existence. If you should take pity upon me, please pray for my salvation every once in a while. That would make me happier than were you to have all the thousands of sutras read on my behalf. My only regret is that after I am gone, you will take a life. There is so much more I wish I could say, but the road of death draws near, and I must finally lay down my brush. Farewell, my Kenzo, from Some. Dear God. Did you say something? I said, dear God. However little one might understand about this world, money's nothing worth throwing your life away over. If it's money you needed, all you had to do was say so. But it seemed such a pity to burden you with such an impossible demand that I'd much rather do away with myself. You'd never stop to think how much more pitiful it'd be for me to be all alone if you are dead. If it's money you need, just say so. A mere 40 Ryu. Oh, do you really think you could manage it? Well, now, you could really manage just a mere 40 Ryu? Well, I might just be a bit short at present. It doesn't matter if you're a bit short. How much can you manage? Well, let's see. Here I've got 1 Ryu, 2 Bu. Will that do? Oh, you're so dense. I tell you I need 40 Ryu, and the best you can come up with is 1 Ryu, 2 Bu? Well then, what am I supposed to do? Okay, how about this? Since life wouldn't be worth living anyway, if you were to die, I'll die with you. You'd really die with me? Of course I would. If you think I'm lying, I'll even pass out in front of you now as down payment. Stop joking, stupid. Oh, if you died with me, I'd be the happiest girl in the world. Hold on a minute. If we're going to die, we have to do it properly. Like two people who have made a pact to die. We have to wear those pure white death robes. And if we want to do it right, we'll need one more night so we can make proper preparations for the road of death tomorrow. I'm just so sorry to put you through all this trouble. Nothing to be sorry about. Just hold on. So it's settled? Tomorrow night for sure? You bet. All settled. Now, people will put the most amazing effort into the most trifling things. That night, Osume did her very best to make Kinzo a happy man. The next morning, the ecstatic Kenzo returned home and called in the man from the furnishing shop, a bachelor with no wife to answer to. Kinzo sells off each and every piece of his furnishings with the intention of buying 2 sets of white robes. But all of it doesn't come down to quite enough. Only enough to buy the women's robes and for himself the jacket-like top, but without bottom. And carrying it in a short thing like a rusty sword, goes off to his boss's home to beg for leave. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Who is it? Ah, what a stink. Is that the man who comes to clean the privy? Heavens, a man who stinks while he's still alive is surely a goner. No, it's me. What's that? Oh, who else but Kinzo? Yes, sir, it's Kinzo. What the hell do you mean by good morning at an hour like this? It's almost noon. What time do you think it is? And what's that big bundle you have over your shoulder? Are you shopping for books or something? No, nothing like that. Well, look sharp, there's something I was meaning to talk to you about when I ran into you. Ah? Never mind about I've heard you've gotten the hots for some woman in Shinegawa, and this is the day before the red letter day. You'll be in big trouble if she's hard up and talks you into something like committing love suicide with her. Oh? Oh. What are you mumbling? Well, under the circumstances. Under the circumstances? You sound like an actor doing some sort of stage double talk. Things haven't been going so well lately, so I thought I'd take a trip to the countryside. Well, that's fine with me. When are you coming back? Um, the 13th of the 7th month next year. No need to be so precise, you know. Which direction are you taking? Um, west. Yeah? Where in the west? From what I've heard, the million billion lands. Damn your hide! Stop this idiotic talk. Just west doesn't make sense. I asked where in the west. In the west, the Buddha of the west. Oh, cut that out. Oh, he's run off. Excuse me, but he dropped this. What's that? A dagger? Whatever is he up to, the bastard? He probably needed this to scare off dogs because he's going to the countryside. Well, maybe so, maybe so. Let's just leave it at that. He's always talking nonsense from one end of the year to the next, anyhow. What could a coward like him do? I wash my hands of the whole business. Having made his promise, Kinzo spends the day making the rounds of friends and saying tacit farewells. Then, towards dusk, off he flies towards Shinagawa, wondering how things stand. The woman has been waiting impatiently. At last, though, he shows up. Oh, Kin-chan, I'm so happy to see you. Well, at least I had to make my farewells to this world. As a reward for all this running around, why don't we put on a show and call in some geishas? And contrary to his usual miserableness, this evening he reveals in truly amazing splendor, eating and drinking himself into such a stupor that he's foaming at the mouth like a horse after a long journey. I'll just
chalk it up to cost of startup. Why should I care how much we go through? If I don't have enough to pay the bill, why, anyone who doesn't like it is welcome to follow along and try and collect, whether in heaven or in hell.
With the odd things he keeps blurting, those nearby are starting to take notice. Being a woman, Osime begins to worry that he might divulge everything.
Kinsam, you're awfully drunk. Now, come to bed.
She takes him to her room and puts him to bed. Suddenly, as bad luck would have it, 2 or 3 customers show up. After making the rounds here and there, she returns to her room and is astonished to find Kim, with snivel ballooning from his nose, sleeping with arms and legs flung out like the character for Big, and snoring deafeningly.
Well, he certainly sleeps soundly enough. How can someone who's about to die sleep so well? An easygoing sort, I guess. Hey, Kin-san! Hey, wake up! Huh? Can't drink any more. What are you saying? Come on, pull yourself together. Dear me, what a big mouth he has. Hmm? Now, what are you moaning about? Oh, I feel great. What time is it? It isn't light out yet. What? You wake me up before it's even light out? I can't go home before dawn. I'm scared of the dogs in Tanakawa. The other day when I went home early, I had a nasty run-in with the dogs. Just let me sleep a bit longer. So you've forgotten? Forgotten? What? Weren't we going to die tonight? By God, you're right. It clean slipped my mind. I had a few drinks and went to sleep, and it felt so good. But to die when you feel so good seems such a terrible waste. Let's just put it off for a few days, shall we? Stop your joking. How can you say such silly things? Be serious and act like a man. If you're going to grudge me like this, it can only mean you've had a change of heart. If I had a change of heart, would I be carrying around something like this? Just look in the bag. Oh my gosh, white robes and really nice ones. But how come yours has nothing from the waist down? Well, you might say I got them half off. You'll be quite a sight. What does it matter? I was short on cash, so I bought my death robes with a sort of manteau look to them. That's good enough. To hell with appearances. All very well and good, but what about the dagger? Oh no, I did buy a dagger. But when I went to my boss's place to make my farewell, I must have left it on top of the water jar. Damn, I just knew something like this would happen. Well, Kin-san, there's only one way to do it then. What's that? A freshly sharpened razor blade. No, not a razor blade. And why not? Because razor cuts take forever to heal. You idiot. You'll already be dead. This is no time for foolishness, Kin-san. You've deceived me. You were lying when you told me that you would die. Do that. You were lying when you told me you'd die, weren't you? Well, all right then. You you have to always be on the lookout for spite in people's hearts. You've deceived me. Careful now, woman. Don't put things down. You could hurt somebody waving a thing like that around. Life is fragile enough as it is without razor blades. You can die just by sticking a single needle into the right place, you know. Tell you what, go back to your place and get 50 or 60 large cotton needles, and we can get the job done by holding hands and sticking each other in all the places we feel a pulse. Oh, stop your joking. If you're getting cold feet, it's all over. If you're going to die, stop talking and die like a man. Okay, fine then. But doesn't this beat all? Isn't there some sort of way out of this? Let's go around back. Around back? You're thinking of hanging ourselves from the pine tree. That looks awful. Things hanging have always given me the creeps. Every time I see a big fish hanging from the tavern, I get the shakes for the rest of the day. No. Come on, around back now.
Worrying that Kinzo might have changed his mind, she puts on her death robes and concentrates on pulling him down the rear staircase as quickly as possible. Folding back one panel of the rain door and exiting into the garden, she goes along the stepping stones until she comes to the palisade fence at the far end. The low door at the end leading to the pier out over the water is locked and won't open. Displaying nerves of steel, she hangs a towel from the lock and, applying all her strength to it, manages to bend the heft back to pop it open. Somehow she pushes the door open and goes out into the pier. The leaden sky has taken on a rainy look, and with the rising tide, the breaking waves sound a note of dread.
What a desolate place. What are you saying, Kin-san? It's only a matter of keeping your legs moving, just like some mechanical turtles that flap their arms. You'll go easily enough. I'm trying, but it's dark underfoot and the pier's long. The pier may be long, but life is short. Just jump in, Kin-san. I can't. I always like to stir the water around first. You're not going into a bath. Stir the water around indeed. Well, what do you know? Are you stalling? No, a fortune teller told me. You'll have trouble with water soon, and here I am with trouble in the water and women trouble. That's what I said. What do you know? Well, there's nothing to know about it, so pull yourself together. You're not going to die alone.
And she takes a look back to find the cowardly Kinzo clinging to the bank, trembling. Just then she hears a young clerk from the window calling out, "Osume! Osume!" 2-3 times he calls out, but she doesn't dare reveal herself.
Kin-san, make up your mind to die.
And with that she shoves him in the small of his back. Already unsteady to begin with, and staggering shakily forward, Kin is suddenly pitched headlong into the water with a loud splash, just as Osume is about to follow.
Hey, Osume! Wait up there! Oh, please spare me the embarrassment. If you really want to be helpful, just let me go. No, wait, you wouldn't be doing such desperate thing if only you had money, right? Well, your worries are over. The money's come. Really? A rich client from Bancho brought it. 50 ryu, 10 more even than you said you needed. He wanted to hand it to you in person so he could see your happy face. But when I went to your room to tell you, there was your razor flung onto the floor. Since something funny seemed to be going on, I came running out here to find something like this. A moment later, you'd have thrown away your life for nothing. Well, of course I'd never have done this if I'd known. Oh, something terrible has happened. What? I've pushed Kinsun into the water. Well, so what? Just leave him there. We can say he killed himself because he couldn't pay his bills, and that'll be the end of it.
They don't come much more brazen than that. Down below, Kin is stunned. He swallowed foam and salt water, and now he has to swallow this as well? Sinking and rising and blowing bubbles, he suddenly stands upright. Now, as any guidebook will tell you, Shinegawa is a shallow estuary, and he's been lying in a spot where the water doesn't even come up to his waist. His topknot has come undone, and its straggly hair hangs straight down. In his struggles, he's bumped up against something or other and given himself a bloody nose. He has blood smeared on his white jacket and tangled wet hair. His face itches unpleasantly, and rubbing it, he finds he is covered with water fleas.
Well, damn you to hell! How the hell can you do such a thing? You actually have the nerve to say, all the best in so long, and I'm supposed to put up with that sort of brazen impudence. I'll pay you back for what you've made me suffer, damn you!
He thinks of trying to climb up onto the pier, but that would only add humiliation to mortification. Unable to do anything but splash his way to the beach, thinking all the while of the revenge he will take on Osume. He gets out of the steps leading toward Takanawa. Lanterns stuck between their legs, a couple of sedan chair bearers stand dozing, waiting for dawn stragglers, and he makes his way sopping wet towards them.
Hey, bearers!
With someone appearing so suddenly before them, who wouldn't be terrified? Taking off as fast as their legs would carry them, the bearers leave their sedan chairs behind. Here's transportation, but no one to make it go. While Kinzu stands looking around blankly. Bark, 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 bark! He's surrounded by 2 or 3 barking dogs. It's only natural for dogs to bark at someone standing around looking suspicious. There's nothing he can do but pick up one of the poles that the sedan chair rested on and run at them to drive them away. Then, with a committee of dogs to escort him from the neighborhood, he makes his way back to his own house. Due to the aforementioned circumstances, however, the place is as good as empty, so he goes around the house of the boss he'd taken leave from the day before. But it's quite a while before daybreak. Still cloudy and pitch black outside. A gang has gathered at the boss's place, gambling for small change, and here are the dogs barking. Bark, 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 bark! Boss, the dogs are barking something furious.
Quiet!
Do you think something's out there? I said shut up, you lousy coward. As he tries to quiet them, there comes a loud pounding. Bam, 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 bam! As if to split the front door. Some rash fellow yells, "Jesus, the cops!" and blows out the candle, plunging the whole place into darkness. Nobody make any sounds. Keep still. It must be the landlord. Hello? Is that the landlord? I'm coming, I'm coming! If you keep pounding like that, you'll break the door. Just a minute. The pounding continues at the front door. The dogs are barking. It's pitch black. Ow! Who the hell's stepping on my head, idiot? Dad, someone just swiped all the money I had in front of me. Who the hell was it? Hey, let me have that! I don't know what the hell that is. That thing I've been pointing at. It's pitch black. How the hell can I tell what you're pointing at? Oh, hey, it's the tinderbox, Here it is. You got a light? Light the candles and get one over here. Coming. He opens the bolt and flings the door open and reveals a glimpse of a suspicious-looking figure standing there. Even the boss is taken aback. Who's that? There's someone out there. Someone weird at the front door.
Hey, good morning, boss.
What, Kenzo?
Right you are.
Never mind, right you are.
What the hell's happened to you? What, you botched the love suicide at Shinegawa? You damned idiot. Just as I'd suspected when you came here yesterday. So the horde didn't jump in. Serves you right, you dolt. Hey, everybody pipe down. It's only Kinzo who's had a little problem. So pipe down. Somebody fetch a bucket of water from the well. His feet are all muddy. What's making all the soot come down from the ceiling? Oh, so you're the bastard who was using my head as a footstool earlier. Dolt, why the hell did you climb up there? Well, get down here right now.
I can't. I'm so relieved to hear it's Kenzo that I can't move. I'm stuck up here like a pig on a pole.
You dolt, what made you climb up there? You're more trouble than you're worth. And fix your loincloth. That's really disgusting. Okay, someone get him a ladder. Hey, who's that sticking out of the pantry? Sada, why are you mumbling like that? Oh God, he's eaten all the condiments.
It would be nice if he had some sake to go along with this stuff. It's so salty.
You idiot, that was soy sauce in that jar.
Oh, well, its soy was saucy.
Oh, I'll give you such a smack. This is no time for stupid puns. One and all a bunch of pansies. Look at Farty there, sitting calmly at the base of the stairs. Now, that's what you'd expect from a real former samurai.
Forget the praises, boss. I lost my nerve long ago.